show is set some 30 years in our future. It's about a dozen astronauts, varying backgrounds, mostly scientists, on Earth's first interstellar mission, first mission to another star system, where they hope to find some evidence of life. It's set against the backdrop of an Earth which is experiencing environmental problems more severe than we're even dealing with now, and the prospect of still more severe problems to come. This is a largely privately funded mission, even though it's done under government auspices. And to help pay their way, the astronauts are contractually required to appear in a reality show about the mission as it's going on. In fact, the psychiatric, the member of the team who's the team psychiatrist is also the onboard executive producer of the reality show. And one of the other astronauts, who is the computer and artificial intelligence expert, is the hostess. So this adds another whole sort of layer to the storytelling. The astronauts have been given virtual reality modules to give them a measure of privacy and an outlet for recreation. And this is something that NASA is even considering now, just as a tool for training. How do you keep your skills sharp if you're going to make a Mars landing in 2 years? Through simulation, obviously. But here it's been turned to a more private recreational purpose. After all, you've got 12 people in close confines for a 10-year round-trip voyage, so you could use a little getaway. Something starts to go wrong in these interactive modules, in these virtual modules, and something which seems to be increasingly threatening. Our lives are so already mediated by the internet dating, by websites, by broadcast television, by satellite television and cable television, by so many different outlets of media that we now interact with, by our cell phones and Blackberries and iPhones, that in a way we're already living to a degree in virtual worlds. And just, ask anyone you see texting as they drive down the highway. You can get their attention. And I think what this is sort of is a more amped up version of that. And I think it is to a degree about how we interact with technology. How is that going to change us? What potential does that have to change us on a fundamental level in terms of our relationships with other people, in terms of ourselves, our own characters, in terms of ourselves as a society, because that's what this ship is. It's just a dozen people, but it's a small society. It's almost like a kind of a test tube for humanity, a habitat in space. In composing the crew of this mission, we thought that on a mission of this length, you'd want married astronauts, you'd want couples, as well as, single people. And when you started thinking about, who those couples would be, why wouldn't you have a gay couple? I mean, from a writer's point of view, it's we have, our cast is our characters come from all different ethnic and national backgrounds. And there's sort of a Babel-like aspect, you could say, to this ship's crew. Science fiction it offers a tremendous dramatic canvas. That extra layer that you have allows you to tell stories that are allegorical, metaphorical, to sort of get right to the heart of things. I mean, so-called human condition, in a way that a lot of other, more conventional dramas have to work harder to get. I mean, get to. I guess you could say there's a parable aspect to it in some ways, but I mean, it's possible to set up situations that really test people in ways that you don't often run into in regular life.